Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Experience Kills. I'm your host, Ben, and joined with me today is Rob.
Hello.
And we are going to be doing a little something different here. We're going to do a preview of a little game called Exo One, brought to us by Expletive Studios, a little tiny indie developer out of Australia, which basically just one guy, a guy called Jay Weston. And I got a code for this, and I have to talk about it. It's coming out sometime maybe this summer, this year. It's not. I don't think it's coming out in early access. It's going to be on Steam and eventually on the Series X as well. And this game just really impressed me. I was really blown away by the look of the game, the style of it. It's quite unique. And when this was first sort of shown to the press many years ago, I think I saw some press quotes from 2017. The parallel was drawn to Flappy Bird. Does anybody remember that game on the mobile platforms?
God.
Yeah,
yes, I remember Flappy Bird.
I only kind of vaguely remember that. And I think the reason that it's kind of a parallel is drawn is that in Exo One, you are this experimental probe based on alien technology exploring exoplanets around the galaxy. There is a cool story which is hinted at in the preview that I got to see as well. But basically, the way you move and get around is you don't have infinite kind of power. So when you don't have power, you're just this sphere and you fall, right? Gravity affects you. And then you can roll along the ground and get the power up, and then you can transform your ship into a disc, and the disc then will glide through the air. So you can do various things, manipulating gravity to either make the ball sort of 10 times heavier than gravity, so you go down slopes really quickly and build up a lot of momentum, and then launch yourself off the other side, turn from the sphere into the disc, and glide through the air. And I'm playing this on a good PC. It's running beautifully at a high frame rate. It's got gorgeous lighting effects, and the worlds that you're in, everything from like these big desert areas. So I was on a water world, and you'll see all this in the video, and it's absolutely stunning. I mean, gorgeous. So just flying around these environments, exploring these alien planets with this high-tech probe, which basically has infinite power as long as you can manipulate gravity in a successful way. It just gives you such a sense of soaring through the air. You do feel like you're really doing it, and it's incredible. It's empowering and stunning, and just I can't wait for this game to fully come out. And there's a mystery, a sort of a story around this about where the technologies come from and the missing crew and why you're doing what you're doing, and I'm really compelled to find out. The fact that I only had a limited taste of this, a preview demo build as it were, I am so hyped to get hands on more. Truly breathtaking game. I mean, this is going to be one that's going to be firmly on my radar for full release. So is there anything else you'd like to know about it, Rob? Because obviously I've only had a taste, but man, does it feel good to maneuver around in this game.
And you kind of hit every question already that I was going to ask. What's the story like? And you nailed that one. Is it only the ball and the disc shape? Are there other shapes that you can alter into at this point, do you know?
So when you turn into when you lose power as the disc, you become the ball, and then you can make it the extra heavy gravity of it, 10 times gravity, which makes you plunge down out of high altitudes onto the ground, and then you're indestructible, so you're rolling along, you're building up this momentum. But basically, you only, as far as I've seen so far, it's just the disc and the ball, and then manipulating gravity. So you can do things with the disc, for example, where you can then make yourself extra heavy, so you don't change into the ball, but you dive down, and you can then release the left trigger or right trigger, whichever way around it was, and that'll then you'll pull up rapidly with that extra momentum, so you can just always be moving and diving and soaring. And the other things is there are clouds on these worlds, and if you go through the clouds, you'll pick up energy from doing that as well, because of the water vapor or the lightning storm that you're going through, and your craft will take energy from that, so you can just continually keep moving and never stop going. But even when you do have those moments where there's no easy way of regaining energy, and you're rolling along the ground to try and hop yourself off again and back into the disc form, that all comes very naturally, very quickly. With a little bit of practice, it all becomes second nature to really get yourself going and flying along again. And it's a sense of freedom to it, and a sense of joy to soaring the way you do in this game. It's certainly helped by how well designed the worlds are, how sort of coherent and sort of partially realistic they are, and then how they're populated not just with scenery, but alien artifacts and monolithic ginormous towers of unknown origin and beams of light and mysterious energy sources. So there's always like you always want to discover what's going on and pick your way through things and find out what's happening, all while being this incredible probe, with the abilities that you have. It's pretty special, like really unique. And as a fan of like hard sci-fi, I can see the 2001 references in there. I can see the Prometheus sort of inspiration in there as well with some of the world designs. It's great. It's really cool.
What's the level structure like? Is there like an objective you have to get to, like a point in the distance you have to navigate towards, or is it a seamless world change that then happens? Because I've seen different biomes and stuff in like the footage I've looked at. How does that work? How's that handled?
So generally in the distance you can see this column of light, this blue light that's reaching up into space, and that's the hypergate warp structure which will take you to the next environment. So you're usually aiming to get there, and then it feels, while you have that end point, then the worlds are designed in a way which will definitely encourage you through certain elements of maybe the terrain that have been designed specifically for you to go through, but it always feels very organic and natural pathing. It doesn't feel like it's ever forcing you to do something, but it encourages you with maybe like speed gates that you can go through that will increase your velocity as well, and just very like natural canyon designs, and then sort of like the sides of mountains of volcanoes and things that encourage you to use them to get your momentum up and to use that to get through the world the fastest way possible. Because really on a lot of these these worlds you could just hit the ground and just roll along as a ball if you really wanted to be boring and like spend a long time getting to where you've got to go. But really you don't want to do that. You want to be getting speed and flying through the air and soaring around and having that sense of velocity and freedom, because that's where the game really sings. And it's got an amazing, incredible soundtrack, like this synthy guitar stuff going on that just feels really perfectly tonally chosen for this type of game. And again, it speaks to the inspirations that you can see very much on display throughout the experience. Really, really cool.
Wonderful. That sounds really interesting. A very different type of game. We don't see that game. Why it's been compared to Flappy Bird, I don't know, because this sounds actually fun.
I think the Flappy Bird comparison is because Flappy Bird's all about getting through a level, understanding when to go up, when to go down, when to control your speed and control your bird through the various obstacles. And there is an element of that in this. It's like about using momentum, about understanding when to increase gravity and when to release the gravity, and therefore it gives you those comparisons. I don't think they're as apt now because obviously Flappy Bird is ancient by mobile game standards, but I can see why people might have mentioned that back in the day. But man, is this on my radar. I hope this comes out. I understand, originally it was meant to be Q4 2020 and we're already into Q2 2021, and I know they're talking about this summer and they're talking about the Series X, and it's like I hope it gets a release sooner rather than later. I think a lot of people should check this out. There's a prologue available on Steam, which is basically like a small demo of the game. It's a little bit less than what I got hands on with the preview build, but there's not even like a way to buy it or pre-order it on Steam yet. It's not early access. It's just coming sometime soon, so put it in your wish list and it will tell you when it comes out. But yeah, that's Exo One by Expletive Studios, based in Australia. A really unique little experience. I'm very excited to see what this game is when it fully comes out, and I get to unravel the mystery of all of these planets and stuff. I can't wait to do it.
I think I'm going to add that to my wish list. I think that's going to be a good one. I like that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me today, Rob. You can find him at Homeless Mr. Gibbs on Twitter. I've been your host, Ben. You can find me at DIYE Twitter. Collectively, you can find us at Experience Kills. Please give us a like and subscribe on the video, and you'll be able to also check out the full audio version of this as well if you are unable to watch videos. So if you want to listen on the go. So until next time, we'll be back soon. Check out the channel for more. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.